I know you may be like, what is this video? It's not typically what I do, but I took out my camera and wasn't even meant to film this video. I just started talking and talking and talking. So I'm gonna leave time points on the screen here and also in the description box and on the bar where you can skip and skip and skip and skip. But if you really wanna get the whole gist of things, watch the whole video. I know it may be lengthy, but I'm just gonna leave this here if you wanna skip to the part where I actually start talking to you. But I first start talking about what prompted me to talk, and then I'll get into it. I love you. I just got one of my dream sponsors. I'm actually about to just turn off all social media for the night and just meditate and just journal, because I literally, my nipples are hard right now. Do you guys ever have these moments where you feel like nothing's working out for you, or you just feel so disconnected from the universe? I know I sound crazy, but I just sometimes, I felt so disconnected for a couple months, and that like, I don't know, I just didn't feel like grounded, and just these past couple days I felt this weird, like, not weird, but I've just felt a connection, and like things are happening, like weird coincidences keep happening again. I don't know. Also, I want to talk to you more often. Like, I want to try to create videos where I talk to you more often, because I honestly just miss rambling and just talking about what's on my mind and like deep things, but I just feel like they just don't fit in vlogs because like I already talk too much. But maybe I'll have like a sit down video every week or something like that. But fuck, man, like there's so much that goes on my head that like I want to tell somebody, but I don't tell people because I don't really have that many friends, which like I probably should go out and make friends. And second of all, I already posted enough and I already talk enough, so I just feel like I don't need to fucking talk for 20 minutes straight about bluff and nonsense that's only going to make sense to like 2% of the population. But wow, I am not working tomorrow, and I am going to take the rest of the night off to just process what the fuck is going on in my life right now, and just to calm down and show gratitude and ground myself. Go fucking sit in Central Park or something, and I would love to film it for you guys and like create a video like that. But like, in order for me to actually be immersed and ground myself and really just, I guess, connect myself with my higher self, I know that sounds so fucking insane. I just don't need to film it, and I need no technology. And one day I will film a video on it when like I'm not in desperate need of it, but right now I'm actually in desperate need of it. So I actually have to take it seriously. And I wish I could explain to you the feeling that I have right now when I know that I need to like sit the fuck down and just stop everything and just take it all in. But I was supposed to work tomorrow. I can't anymore. Tomorrow is literally just gonna be a day dedicated to me just going out into nature, journaling, and just no technology. Fuck. Life is so fucking amazing. And you know what? I was literally just watching my videos tonight, and it was my old videos from me when I was 15 in my first apartment. And it's so crazy to see the difference between my house, my apartment, my first apartment then, which I couldn't even afford my rent. Like, my aunties had to pay my rent. I was trying to pay rent, but like I was struggling. So thank God I had their help. But I was living and I was paying $600 a month for rent, and I was living in an apartment that had, you know, a white fridge, just like regular shit. And like when I say things that like, oh, I can appreciate my fridge so much now and go crazy over like the most simple stuff, like a cool sink or a cool fridge or like soft closing cupboards, it's because like my first apartment, I had a white fridge, and like I didn't have a super nice kitchen or anything like that. Like I just had a regular ass place, you know what I mean? So living in places like this now, it's insane to me. And I look back to 4 years ago when I was 15 and I was living in a place like that, and I see how much I've evolved as a person and how much my environment has evolved, and the hard work that I've put in. You can see it externally because you can see the upgrades in the places that I've lived, and you can see from my depression room at 2 a.m. when I used to clean it all the time because I was so depressed, and how I've evolved now. It's just insane. And like I just was like having a moment a couple hours ago, just realizing and processing how much I have changed and the things that I've accomplished. Because when you're in the moment and doing these things, like when I'm in this moment, of course I can be appreciative and love the life that I'm living, but sometimes I forget that I used to not have this life. I used to be depressed, I used to be sad, and I used to have to actually take the bus because I didn't have money for Ubers, you know what I mean? Now I take the bus, now I take the train because it's just a convenience. I actually genuinely enjoy it. But you know, if I needed to take an Uber, I could, which is amazing. But back then I watched the video and I was literally running to the bus because it was the last bus, and I literally in the video said, I do not know what I'm gonna do if I miss this bus because I did not have money for Ubers. You know, and it's just like those little things that I take for granted, because now when I take a train ride, I'm like, oh, like, let me enjoy it, it's fun. But before, I take a train ride or a bus ride and it's like, I have to do this, there's no other option, but now I can do it as an option. And I think it's these little things that I forget, and I watch back and I'm like, damn. Or I watched the video where I went to Los Angeles for the first time when I was 15, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love Los Angeles, like, and appreciating all these little things, and I just lived there for a full entire year. And it's just so insane to me how much my life can change, and how I forget that I used to be younger and dreaming of the life that I live now. You know what I mean? I know we talk about it a lot, but I just like physically seen it with my own eyes, and it just kind of hit me. I was like, whoa, that is actually crazy. I used to not be able to cook. I used to barely even go to the gym. I couldn't wake up until 2 p.m. and I forget that I used to want to be the girl that I am now. And I beat myself up now in the position that I'm in now for being the person that I am. And I'm like, I should be waking up earlier. I should be doing this, and I should be doing this, and I should be doing this. Like, you're not doing enough. You're not doing enough. But then I think back to me 4 years ago, or even a year ago, I would have been so proud of the person that I am now, because even a year ago, I was like, I want to start reading books. I want to start meditating. And I told myself I would never be that girl, and now I am. And I just want to remind you, sorry I keep ranting, but this is what I mean when I say that I could talk for so long. I just want to remind you that if you are in a position right now where you are telling yourself, oh, I'm not doing enough, like, I should be doing more, like, why do I not have this, why do I not have this, why do I not have that, like, why is school so hard, why is my job so hard? Think about yourself 2 years ago, 4 years ago. 4 years ago, let's say that you are a teenager in high school. Weren't you like, oh my god, I can't wait to graduate, I can't wait to go to college, I can't wait to get this job? And say you're living in that position right now and you're dreading it because you're like, what the fuck am I doing? Or I'm not doing enough, or, you know, I'm 20 years old and I see people doing this and I'm not doing this. Think of yourself a couple years back. Weren't you dreaming of being in the position you are in now? Or this could apply to literally any part of your life. A year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, there's always something that you're looking forward to. Whether you were in elementary school dreaming of being in high school, and now that you're in high school, you're dreading it and you hate it, and you're like, why is high school so hard? You in middle school or whatever wanted to be in high school so bad, you wanted to be grown up, and now you're grown up, you know what I mean? And it's like, we forget that it's just the perspective that we see things, because if we had the eyes that we had from a couple years back and we were in the same position, we'd be like, wow, you know? And it's just, that just goes to show how much life evolves. How as we get older, as we're in different stages of life, there are always going to be problems and there's always going to be issues, but you are always moving forward, and you sometimes forget that you're moving forward. Although you may have problems and issues now, these problems and issues are going to grow you into the person that's going to be able to handle bigger problems and bigger issues, you know what I mean? But when you're handling those bigger problems and bigger issues later in life, you've grown to be that person that can handle those big things. But when you're handling those bigger issues and bigger problems when you're older, or whatever part of life you are in, you are probably going to be in a better position, if that makes sense. So I know I sound fucking nuts, but this is what I mean when I could say I could talk for so long. But I swear none of y'all would want to listen because I talk too long. Like, this is where my brain goes when I'm silent. This is why I can just hang out by myself, is because my brain is constantly thinking things like this. Let me tell you this, manifestation. Believe it or not, I don't care if you believe it or not, okay? That's not even a part of that, but I could go deep into this. But here, let me tell you this. If you need to be motivated, let me tell you this. You right now may be like, I am dreaming of being a doctor. I am dreaming of being a millionaire. I am dreaming of having this house. I am dreaming of this position at this job. You know what I mean? I am dreaming for it to happen. I am manifesting money. I'm trying to manifest love. I'm trying to manifest this. Why isn't it working? Why do manifestations work for you, Mai, but why does it not work for me? I don't understand. I'm frustrated. The best thing that I've learned is, first of all, do not put a timeline on what you're dreaming of. Do not say, in 1 year, I better have $1 million. In 1 year, I better have this job. In 1 year, I better have a relationship. I'm manifesting a relationship in 1 year. I'm manifesting this in 1 year. I'm manifesting this in 1 month. I'm manifesting this on February, blah, blah, blah. You get the fucking point, right? Don't do that. Why? It's because you're going to set yourself up for failure, and you're going to set yourself up for disappointment. But it's not even about that. It's about the fact that we may say that our manifestations are working. We may say that things aren't working out for us, and we dream of these things. We're putting in the work, but why isn't it coming to us? Why isn't the universe giving me what I've asked for? Everyone says manifestation works. Why doesn't it work for me? This is the best advice I've received. I'm sorry I keep using all these references and stuff, but you gotta understand. Your manifestations are working. How do you know that they're not working? How do you know that they aren't? When you tell yourself your manifestation didn't work, how do you know? It's because you said, it's gonna happen in a week, and it didn't happen in a week, and all of a sudden you're saying manifestation's not working. But we gotta realize that in order to become these things, in order to receive these things, we must be able to be ready to receive these things. Because if you say that you want to be a millionaire in 1 year, because let's say that you were a millionaire tomorrow, you would not be happy, you would not be ready, you would not know how to handle that money, and overall it just would not be beneficial to you. But let's say that you want to be a millionaire, you keep saying that you're going to be a millionaire. Life is going to throw so many obstacles at you, life is going to throw so many problems at you, you're going to go through so much shit. And if you look at it from a perspective where you're living through living hell basically, and all these problems are coming at you, and you say, why does this keep happening? Why does this keep happening? Like, I'm trying to manifest this, but why is this happening in my life? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why is the world not working out for me? Instead, the next time you see a problem, think of it as, what am I going to learn from this? How am I going to change as a person? How am I going to grow into a better person from this situation? What can I take from this? And obviously, things are going to happen. And I personally don't believe that everything happens for a reason. You know, it sucks. Like, there's so many things that happen that just don't make sense. So I don't like saying that. But it's more like, when something happens to you, good or bad, what can you take from it? And how can you become a better version of yourself from it? So when minor inconveniences happen for me, I try to just not get angry over it now, because I'm like, oh, I need to, keep it going, keep being positive and stuff like that. And when things happen to me, I'm like, what can I learn from this? Is it going to be me being patient? Is it going to be me being this? And throwing this all together, there's a lot of different things to explain my one thing. You're learning, you're evolving, you're growing into the person that can handle the manifestation, that can handle the dream. You know what I mean? You could say that you want a dream to be a doctor. If you were put in that doctor position tomorrow, that would not benefit anybody. You would not know how to help people. It would just be worse than if you were to just not be a doctor, you know what I mean? Like, you need to be able to learn, study, and grow into the person that can handle being a doctor. And that goes with any single manifestation. So whatever you want in your life right now, you are gonna get it. But the only way you're gonna get it is, and the way you can speed it up, I guess, is to make sure that you are keeping your vibrations high, staying positive, and that can be really hard. Just staying positive, that doesn't fucking work, you know what I mean? Like, it's these little things that you don't even realize that I'm still working on, like, every single day. And it's like when you're talking to people, when you're like interacting with people, or when little issues come to you, inconveniences, problems, like you're late, or your bus is missed, or just shitty things that happen to you, things are not working out. I am personally trying to be better and step out of my body and look at situations and be like, you know what, it's okay it's okay. You may be mad, you may be frustrated, you may be sad, but it's okay overall. It is okay. You'll be okay. What are you going to learn from the situation? What are you going to take from it? And how are you going to become a better person? And I take that and I realize, you know what? My manifestation is coming. I just must be able to deal with my situations better day by day. And the more that I can control my feelings, control my thoughts, and control my emotions, the faster I'll be on my way to my manifestation. My goal is to hit 2 million subscribers, and I know that I will hit 2 million subscribers. Nothing's guaranteed though, but in my head, I know that I will. And I used to be like, I need to hit 2 million subscribers by this time. But I just realized, the world has a plan for me. It's gonna work out. I will eventually reach that. I don't know when, but I will eventually reach that. I just gotta keep staying positive, doing what I do. I don't look at my YouTube analytics. I don't look at anything anymore. I just keep on posting, just in hopes that the universe has a plan for me and I'm just doing everything right. And for me, I have the most trust in whatever I'm doing when I'm reading books, when I'm grounding myself by going into nature, when I'm journaling, when I'm meditating. And I don't do those things on a regular basis anymore. Like, it's very hard for me to, and I definitely want to get back into it. But the reason why I want to get back into it so much is because I know that when I'm doing those things, I feel like I have the most trust in myself. And without trust in yourself, you can't do shit. Without trust in yourself, you're not disciplined. You can't discipline yourself to go to the gym. You can't discipline yourself to eat properly. You can't discipline yourself to study. You can't discipline yourself to do anything if you don't trust yourself. And when I'm doing these core basic things such as meditating, reading books, doing all that stuff, I have so much trust in myself. I feel so whole, and I feel like I have so much energy to be able to put into these things that I'm passionate about. But when I'm drained and I'm not fueling myself with all these things that make me feel good, that make me tap into myself and tap into my emotions and tap into how I'm feeling that day, and you know what I mean? Like, be very in tune with yourself. How are you going to be able to spread that to other things that you want to work on? Does that make any fucking sense? I just talked for 17 minutes long. 17 minutes long. This is what I fucking knew when I could say I could talk for hours. I'm sorry if that was the most boring thing you've ever heard in your life, but You fucking got this. You got whatever you want to do. I don't know what your dream is, but you got this, okay? And I hate when bitches say, if I can do it, you can do it too. But for context, I went through such shitty family situations where I thought that I could never get out of it, because when you're in a shitty family situation, you feel like you can't escape. Why? Because it's your family. I went through shitty family situations. I went through being broke. Well, I feel like everyone goes through being broke, right? I went through being broke. Like, after you leave your parents, like, how the fuck are you supposed to get money? I went through being broke. I went through being so fucking mentally ill that I didn't even think that I could survive. And I somehow made it here. Somehow, I don't know how, but I think it's the hope. It's a little sliver of hope that I had that life could be better. And it was so small though, because I really didn't believe it. But I knew that there was so much out there that one day I would love to achieve. I knew that I don't know how I would get it, but me being depressed, sitting in my room and sitting in my depression room, my dirty fucking depression room, I knew that there was so much traveling that I wanted to, there was so much people that I would want to meet, there's so many cities that I want to immerse myself in. There's so many experiences that I haven't done before that I needed to fucking do them. I did not know how, I did not have the means for it, I did not have the money, I did not have the resources for it, I did not have the connections for it, but I knew that somehow I needed to do it. And for that reason, I fucking pushed myself. And I know that not everyone can have an influencer job. I know that not everyone can just pick up a fucking camera and make some money. But there are so many ways out there that we can make money, but it's not even about making money. There's so many ways out there that we can immerse ourselves into the fucking world. And whether you want to travel, that does not mean you have to be rich to travel, because I know that's a lot of people's dreams. You don't have to be rich to fucking travel. You could work your fucking ass off at your 9 to 5 minimum wage job, work your fucking ass off, work those hard hours of you dealing with those shitty fucking customers, save up your money, and you can go travel by backpacking and meeting new people, making connections, and making connections with people can bring you so many different places. You know what I mean? Like, money is not the only resource in the world. And I feel like, especially, oh my God, I'm sorry. This is what I talk about in my brain. I feel like, especially in America specifically, why is money the biggest thing on our minds? Why is it like, in order for me to be successful, I need to have money? And it's like, we were conditioned to think this way, and we're like, in order for me to be successful, I need to have this many followers and I need to have this many likes. But the biggest flex in my head is when I meet somebody and they have a beautiful, beautiful soul, by Jesse McCartney. When they have a beautiful aura, when they have a beautiful soul, when you meet somebody and they fucking make you feel seen, that is about the richest of rich that I could ever see in a person, is when somebody is actually a good fucking person and their spirit is amazing. When people are just in tune with themselves, when people are so okay with themselves, when people have really worked through all their traumas to love themselves, and you communicate with somebody like that, you just feel like they are the best fucking person in the world. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it doesn't matter how much money they have, it doesn't matter what their situation is or anything like that. It's just them as a person sitting there right in front of you. You're like, wow, I love the person that they are. And that's to me the richest that you could ever be, is being a good person and being so okay with yourself that no matter any external circumstances happen, you yourself are still whole. No matter if you still had your house, no matter if you still had your car, no matter if you still had your social status, you would still be okay, because this whole time you knew who you were. And of course, we're all going through our journeys and finding ourselves, and you're never gonna fully find yourself, but it's the process of working towards that and knowing that you are in control of everything and you're in control of your body. There is no external circumstance. There's no money, there's no people, there's no anything that could rock your shit. Period. That was a fucking vlog and a half. I don't know what that was. Am I just gonna fucking post this just to fucking post it? Anyways, your time is now. Start now, because if you don't start now and you feel like there's a certain time that you need to start and you're just telling yourself, oh, I just need to learn this first. I need to have this money to start this first. I need to have this camera to start. I need to have this phone. I need to have this laptop. I need to talk to this person and talk to this person first before I start my new job, before I start my new project, before I start my YouTube channel. Whatever the fuck you want to do, whatever the fuck you want to be, just fucking do it. Because the more you tell yourself, oh, I need to do this and I need to do this, you're just gonna slow yourself down and you're not gonna do it. If you are doubting yourself right now, you're never gonna do it. Just do it. No matter how little it is, take that step forward and throw yourself into it. Put as much energy as you can into it, because all these things that you're waiting on, you are going to learn within the process, okay? You can't just think of life or what you're going towards as you driving in the dark, okay? I learned this from this other girl on YouTube. Think of it, you driving in the dark, okay? You have your headlights on. You don't know what the fuck is in front of you. You don't know what's on your sides. All you can see is what's in the light, and that's how we live our life. All we can see is what's in the light. But when we're driving, we're not just gonna stop because we don't know what's ahead of us. We're just gonna keep going and hope that the light leads the way, okay? And that's how we should be living our life. When you wanna go do something, act like you're fucking driving in the dark. Just trust that the world is going to lead you. And when I say that, that means that all these obstacles that you're going through, every time you go through an obstacle, think of it as, this is going to bring me closer to my goal. Whether that be the most inconvenient shit, like me having to pick up a coffee bag and the coffee spilled all over my counter and I'm angry, right? But then I think, you know what? This honestly isn't that big of a deal. I'm not gonna let it ruin my energy. And that little thing right there is a minor 1% step forward into me being able to control my feelings, control my thoughts. And it may seem like the smallest little fix ever, but it's like these little fixes that will affect me as a whole, because when minor inconveniences happen in the future, I'm not gonna even let that get to the point where I get angry. I'm just gonna be like, it's okay. And that way, my energy is gonna keep going up. I'm gonna keep being more positive about life. And when these bigger problems come to me, I'm just gonna be like, you know what am I gonna learn? Is it gonna teach me to be patient? Blah, 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 blah. Anyways, so when you start your project and all these inconveniences happen, don't think, oh, this isn't meant for me. You know what? I'm just gonna stop. We'll continue on another time. I just can't do this right now. It's too much for me. Think of it as, oh, this problem happened. This problem occurred. You know what am I gonna learn from this? Because this is going to drive me closer towards my goal. And everything that you are telling yourself right now that you need to start your business, to start whatever, you are going to learn within the process. And the best way to learn something is by fucking doing it. So that no matter how many people you talk to, or no matter how many YouTube videos you watch on how to do something, you are never going to apply it as good as if you go through those problems yourself and you go through it yourself and try to figure it out yourself. You got it? You got it? So start now. Whatever you want to do, start now. You freaking got this. And if I could tell you one thing from this video, it is every time an issue comes to you, every time an inconvenience comes to you, think of it as, how will this make me better as a person? Thank you so much for my TED Talk. I am out. Make sure you subscribe. I don't know if y'all like this or not. This is such a random fucking video, and I know this is gonna get literally 2 views, but I just thought y'all needed to hear my TED Talk. Peace out, motherfuckers.